Hello friends, welcome to VFX Pipeline channel. In this video, I'm going to share some of my experiment which just now I did with my HP Zbook, and those experiments include I go with some initial test with Maya. I did some simulations of Maya and check how it performed. I run multiple Maya parallelly and see how this works. Also, I did same thing with Houdini. I just run multiple instances of Houdini and see that how the performance goes, and all this is actually heavy fluid simulations inside Houdini, like Pyro simulations there. Also, I load is full CGI scene or inside Unreal and load with all the textures and see in real time how it works. And next I test with Blender. I loaded one of the scene full GPU intensive scene from the blender.org, and here I just test with like how it performs and how it's rendered quickly. As well as I did some benchmark testing also, like Cinebench, Workstation, Novabench, and Heaven's benchmarking. So all this thing you can find in this video. Lot of content to see the actual performance of this laptop. As well as more than laptop, we want to see, and I personally want to see, that how Xeon and Quadro RTX 4000 works together, and what kind of performance we can get from this hardware. Okay, so much exciting stuff in this video. Keep watch until the end of this video. Let's start. Let's start with the benchmarking of HP Zbook. I have different benchmarking software installed in my Zbook already, and let's start first with Novabench. So Novabench is installed here, and this is the task manager. So here you can see we have CPU and GPU almost 0. So let's just start this test. Okay, and now you can see that CPU is reached to 4.18 gigahertz, and the maximum is 5 gigahertz, and the base clock speed is 2.4. so you can see that it's reached to 4.8, and GPU Nvidia Quadro RTX 4000 16%, running general purpose CPU. So far CPU is reached almost full 4, and now let's just complete the frame rate. Here you can see it's reached to almost 200 FPS. You can see here it's on 1280 720 direct 3D. Alright, so Novabench is completed, and this is the score here. And so far our CPU is also coming down. Now let's start with Heaven's benchmark. I already have installed in my PC, and the settings which I'm going to pick is Ultra, which is the maximum, and resolution 1920 1080. Run. And here I have my task manager, Zbook. So it's loading and it's already started. This is the ultra quality in 1080. Let's see the FPS. Let's start benchmarking. And here you can see FPS. And GPU use 97%, Nvidia Quadro RTX. CPU is 24%. Almost 200 FPS we are reaching here. More than 200 FPS at ultra quality. Let's move to our next benchmark, which is Cinebench. Now let's test the Xeon and Quadro RTX, how it's performed with Cinebench inside Zbook 17. So I just installed Cinebench R20.60 and just few hours back, or maybe 2 hours back, I just created one benchmark and I get this score 3435. Now let's just run it again to see that, and you can see the processor is Xeon E2286M CPU, 8 core 16 thread, and GPU is Quadro RTX 4000. Let's run. So now I hit run already, it started, and also our CPU is started. So all 16 threads started, reach 100% CPU use. Cinebench release 20. And now I can see the fans are actually getting loud. GPU is still 3%, 4%, but CPU. So this is like checking the most CPU intensive performance, how Xeon working with rendering. And this is like my Zbook just connected with HDMI with my monitor. So this is not fully 4K, but this screen is 4K. Let's see, we are almost done, almost close to finish the benchmarking, performing render test, rendering pass 1. Alright, so we just finished, and this is the points. We get 3474, which was previously 3435. And there might be because I'm doing a lot of other benchmarking right now, so my CPU is actually become hot. So but anyway, this is the benchmarking, and let's move to our next benchmarking. Now after a lot of benchmarking, let's see the CPU and actual hardware information using CPU-Z. And this application is really helpful to actually check the hardware. So right now this is CPU-Z. After done 3 benchmarking, now we are seeing all this thing here live. As you can see, this Xeon model number, CPU core speed. Let's just see the caches, mainboard, memory, graphics. Let me just put it here in this screen, maybe. Yeah, here it's much fine. All right. So this is the CPU-Z information of HP Zbook. Now let's just continue with our next test, which is Unreal Engine. Now we will see the real use of HP Zbook. Why we pick the Xeon processor and Quadro RTX, because we want to do some 3D and visual effects work. So now for that, first let's see start Unreal Game Engine, and in that Unreal Game Engine first we will load a fully light shaded and like fully ready asset, and then we will see. So our editor is now initializing. Let's just start the task manager also, so we will see the same side by side what is the performance. Okay, let's go to the performance tab, and here we can see that all the CPUs are actually nothing. So here I have one project, city subway train module, and this is a very interesting one actually. Let me just load that. So city subway train modular is loading, and in this side we can see that our CPU is going up and GPU is also 2%, 4%, so it's fine. And this is actually a very GPU intensive task, so definitely our GPU will be utilized more, our RTX will be utilized more. Okay, so let's just put it here. This is the problem with dual monitor. Okay, now it's fine. Okay, so let's just put our task manager in different monitor. So that's here. So here we can see this scene is loaded. Let's just hit play, and when I hit play, our CPU is 10%, but GPU is start increasing. All right, now let's just try to play that. Okay, now let's just, okay, you can see very smooth. I can live playing inside Unreal Engine, and this is the same GPU uses, and CPU uses is also not that much. Right, so I hope you are getting the idea about how much performance Zbook is giving, and this scene is quite heavy actually. So yeah, so I'm just playing here, loaded the scene, and this is quite interesting actually. Let's just stop this and see the full 3D scene here. So with that you can actually do all the 3D gaming stuff inside your laptop, and the laptop can easily load all this stuff, and the GPU RTX is really worth. Right, let's just quickly see one more time how we can see this is the back, front, and I'm just rotating everywhere, and you can see this lighting, shading, all looks good, right? Okay, so yeah, this is the review for Unreal Engine inside RTX 4000 and our Intel Xeon processor. Okay, now let's just continue with our next review, which is using Houdini inside Zbook. Now let's test Houdini software and how this perform inside our HP Zbook. So I have this empty Houdini scene, and just for testing I will just create some simple Pyro preset. So in Pyro effects, let's just create an explosion here, and here CPU side we just see little spike, but our scene is now loaded here. Let's play. Okay, so CPU is reached to 100%. and this is where you can see that all the threads, all the cores are using these simulations. And it's 100%. Meanwhile, I already have another Houdini open, so let's just go there and let's create one more sphere in this sphere, and let's go create another firewall here. So one explosion, one firewall. This is still going on, okay, and this is another one. So we will go, so we have done this here. Let's just play this. Alright, so right now 2 simulations going on parallelly, and CPU is now fully utilized, but now system is still can use. We have third Houdini here. Let's create one more simulation here. Go back to Pyro effects. This time let's create another explosion. So let's go to our previous one. This is still simulation is going on. This one already done. Play. So as you can see, the 3 simulation parallelly working on. CPU is now fully utilized, and RAM, you can see that it's still 26% used because we have 64 GB RAM, so it's fine. GPU is not that much used, and this all actually happening in this laptop. Okay, so now our simulation going on. Let's just see everything side by side. Here you can see it's already this part already. Let's just stop, and because this is just the firewall, so we can just limit the frames to maybe 60, then it will be fine. Back, play. Okay, right, we have this. Let's just stop this one also. Let's limit the frame to 60. Play. And entire system is actually responsive, and this one also maybe 60. Perfect. So there is three simulations live going on one single laptop, right? So this is the power of Zbook. Not even this, the processor which we are having here, and as you can see, now we are actually utilizing our graphic card because everything is playing live, and this is 3 Houdini side by side. Actually, still our system is responsive. We can actually run one more Houdini here, and once the Houdini is started, when you can see here itself, it's now we can see little bit movement inside our GPU, and let's see what task is doing here. And this is doing more of the 3D 3D encoding. So here we can see that the 3D task is now going on. We have 3 Houdini open here. Let's just open another one, create one more sphere, and go to Pyro, and this time we will create one different thing, maybe smoke. Okay, so our smoke is ready. Let's minimize this, not minimize, resize this, and change the frame to this one also 60. Okay, perfect. So this one is our 4th Houdini. Let's play. So far simulation is going on, no problem. I mean, we can go and check with this render frames also, everything, but now the thing is, first stage we need to see how responsive is our system, how much we can actually parallel work we can do simultaneously without affecting. and my system is not freezed or whatever, so I can still go and open another software and do my other task. Okay, let's just go and open one more Houdini and see. So as of now, let's see the memory, how much we reach. We reach memory around 23.5 GB, and CPU, yes, is obviously is high. So, and Ethernet we are not using, only GPU. GPU and CPU is the one which is actually in the use right now. Alright, so this is our 5th Houdini at this moment, and now let's just go create one more sphere here, and Pyro, and let's just create one explosion. We can make one single scene complicated to test that, but again, my intention here is to test how many parallel application we can run. So maybe there are some different things that we can test. There are many different cases also that we will test, like if we start Maya together with that. So here now you can see we have total 1 2 3, how many? We have total 5. We have total 5 Houdini open, and all are playing the real simulation. They are doing the real simulation, and so far our system is not freezed at all. Right, so now guys, I hope you get the idea of how powerful this HP Zbook is, and how much useful it will be how much useful it is for visual effects and 3D VFX artists or technical directors or PDs. Very useful, very powerful. Now let's just move forward and see our other review, and let's pick Maya for our next test. Now let's see the performance test of Autodesk Maya inside HP Zbook. So for testing, I just load 3 default scene which comes with the content browser of Maya inside 3 different Maya. So one, I have a fluid example, Maya fluid example, and the second one is the Bifrost example, and third one is again the fluids example. So let's just start with our Bifrost and just play that. As you can see here, our CPU is right now nothing is in use, and GPU 0%. Let's just play the game. So if I play the simulation of Bifrost particle simulations, and this is actually a bridge collapsing scene where a bridge is collapsing under the water. So here you can see that particles already collision is started, and our CPU 100% reached. So one Maya already reached 100%. What about the others? Is this our scene? Our system is still responsive. We can move around things, and the simulation going on in this Maya, this is not responsive. This Maya is somehow locked, but your system is free. Your system you can actually use for something else also. Okay, so now we have, since this Maya free, let's just play the simulation here also. So meanwhile, now this simulation is also playing, and we are getting a FPS around 7 or 8 because our parallelly 2 simulations going on in this. This is live, no caching, and I did not cache anything. So this is everything simulation calculation going on live. Okay, and your CPU now fully 100%. GPU is no issue. Now let's see we have our third Maya open, and this simulation is very heavier than these two. So still my system is responsive. Alright, so now let's just go and play this one. and this is a nuke explosion. You can see that it's very heavy, and the FPS we are getting is around 1 or 4 FPS, and that is when we are actually 3 simulation parallelly running. And now I can see the system is getting little bit there's no proper response, but let's see. No, it's actually responsive. I can see things there, no problem. And memory is 8 GB used so far. GPU is not used because we are not going with any GPU part here. Okay, so with that we run parallelly 3 Maya. Let's stop one by one. So let me stop this, and our Bifrost simulation, stop that also. Since our both Maya stuff is stopped, and now we can see the simulation is again going on. It's very good explosion. Put it back. Now let's just maximize only one. So right now our all Mayas, I actually stopped all simulations. Now only one Maya is active, and previously we get the frame rate of around 3 FPS. But what if only one Maya is running? If only one Maya is running, then you will get around 13.3 FPS, and this is when you actually make the resolution higher, because I just increased the resolution for this. Previously this resolution was 40 40 20, so 40 and 20. With 40 40 20 we should able to get a pretty decent frame rate, 34 FPS. Okay, now let's try one more thing. Viewport 2.0 is selected here, and performance GPU, and select, close, back, play. Right, so as you can see that now fluid is very fluid. Okay, so I mean overall Maya wise, like, it's already good, and previously we just see the Houdini is also good. And guys, this is not just full and final review of Maya working with RTX card or Intel card, because this topic is definitely very big, and in this video I just want to give you one understanding of some initial idea about how this system, how this software works with HP Zbook, and the first impression of these softwares. Okay, so let's just continue with our next software testing, which is Blender. Now let's see the performance of Blender software with Intel Xeon and Quadro RTX inside HP Zbook. Alright, so I already have Blender 2.8 installed in my PC, and I just downloaded a sample file which is available in blender.org, and this scene is really good. So there is a little mouse sitting there, and this scene is really good. Let's just see how our system uses right now. CPU uses 2% and the GPU is 1%, so that's actually nothing is in use. Okay, now the thing starts when we see things live in the viewport. So this is the viewport. Yes, I did not press the render button. This is actually the viewport, and let's just see the viewport with shading. And now which we are seeing is actually the scene is on viewport, and now still our CPU and GPU is not in use. So when the CPU will start using, when you start navigating your viewport. So this is interesting. So guys, this is the scene which you are seeing. This is the viewport, and now from this I'm going to rotate that. Okay, you see that? This is the 3D scene here with all the lighting, and this is where you are utilizing your Quadro RTX full 99%, because this graphics is you are able to render all this live because you have Quadro RTX installed. Normal PCs cannot do all this thing in that much high quality. So this is the quality which you are seeing in the viewport. So this is actually the viewport. Let's just see in the Lambert. Much easy, right? But how easy it is if you are seeing things in this way. Okay. GPU is going high, CPU is still fine. But if the viewport is this, then how about the render quality? How the render looks like? Let's just go in the camera view again. So this is the main view and this is the viewport. Let's just hit the render the image, and now I started the render, and our CPU will be in use because I selected both CPU and GPU for rendering. And here you can see is utilizing your full GPU, and image is now rendering. I just click, it's like full scene sampling is 32. Okay, so render is complete. So this is the render, and guys, this is interesting because I'm not sure what is the difference in render and the live, because it's almost same, right? See, I mean, yes, there are very minor differences, but normally you can't. Basically, in real time, we are very much closer to what we should have in the final. So this is the viewport, 3D viewport, and this is the render. Interesting. Blender is seriously very cool software. Okay, what else we can see here? I already showed you that it's complete 3D, and that what we visualizing. And just to show you, I go to preferences, viewport, and quality is 32, which is the highest. Okay, and yeah, so that's what we are seeing here. Actually, there is one more option. Let's just see that also. Quality, textures, limit, no limit. Anything else that we can do? Let's just increase this also, 16. I mean, with Quadro RTX you can play with all these kind of settings without worry about things will be going mess. Like maybe just put it 4x, and image display method automatic is fine. Select multi-sample. Okay, let's close this and see this. Okay, so zoom in. Correct, right? So with that, you will get the idea about how easy it is to work on Blender live with all these kind of shadings. And it's actually apply this lighting, since we are seeing this lighting is live. So let's just try and change some of the stuff. For example, I have this. Let me move some of the stuff. Maybe we can just move the chair. Okay, so I select the chair, and can you see the shadow here, which is live, correct? And also the volumetric, the volume fog, and this is all real time. Very interesting. Obviously it's using your RTX card GPU full, but let's just pull it right. I mean, it looks like it's like we are in Unity or Unreal Engine. Very interesting. We can make our look devs very fast. We can visualize the scene faster, we can make the look and feel of the entire show quickly with that. This is interesting, very interesting. I'm going to go more deeper inside Blender development and coming with some more interesting tutorials for you guys, because I really want to learn Blender and I want to do some more interesting stuff in Blender. So I will share my own R&Ds with you guys. Okay, so I don't have any other software to review right now, so it's already too late. So now let's just wrap this video, and I hope you like this video and you get some idea about what is the performance of Quadro RTX and Intel Xeon inside HP Zbook. And for me it's very interesting. I really get some more power, so I want to do some more research and developments and to make some more cool projects. Okay, so subscribe this channel because I'm coming with some more interesting videos and more in-depth detailed videos of Maya, Houdini and Blender, how you can utilize this with Quadro RTX and all this, and why RTX is very useful for you. And also the interesting part is I'm going to make some videos for Unreal Engine, that is how we can use Unreal Engine inside cinematics and film industry. Okay, so there will be a lot of stuff coming soon. Please guys, subscribe to VFX Pipeline channel. So this is the end of this video, and I hope you liked this video and you like the testing which I did. It's already 3 o'clock in the night, and now it's time to sleep, and soon I will come up with some more interesting videos for you guys. So don't forget to subscribe this channel, and I will see you in my next video. Thank you guys.